Okay, we're down in the Bahamas, end of November for hunting lionfish. This was an interesting one. We broke records on how many lionfish we got. Still haven't gotten the report on that. But the lionfish hang out upside down sometimes. And I miss them sometimes. Or I'm not choking up enough on the sling to get enough boost to go into them. So we were warned more than normal about getting a zookeeper or getting this fish in a zookeeper, but you never know where the zookeepers are, because by the time you go down and find one and get it, the zookeeper's moved on, and then you gotta hunt for them. You're supposed to notify them before you fish for them or spear them. Well, you don't know until you look under the rock, and you go down and look under a rock, and then the zookeeper's somewhere else. And you don't want to lose it, so you just shoot it. He thinks he's going to swim away. Here is some information on lionfish that we received before we went out. Got a couple more of these screens. He is way back in there. It's hard to get the camera in and the spear in. Look how far I got to pull that spear out. And I just got a tail. But I got him. See him down in that hole? There. And then find a zookeeper. Take a mental note there, see how big that spear is compared to the fish. I got one coming up that makes that spear look small. Here's some more information. Upside down. You see one to the right there too, but I kind of bumped him with that one and he moved out. Couldn't get him. Look at those fins. Yeah. On the tip of each fin is a little spine that has venom in it. There, this one just sitting there. Everybody else went right by him onto their main reef. Then you gotta find a zookeeper. There's a zookeeper. And you gotta stuff him in the zookeeper. More info. you may have to pause or slow it down. Okay, so I did a full take on this shipwreck. Well, it's not a shipwreck, it's a sunken ship. I believe this one came from the Defense Force from the Bahamas. They sunk it out here, yeah, for a reef. And then everybody's already on it looking for lionfish. Nice coral, a lot of juvenile fish. A lot more than I thought there'd be. Because of COVID, we haven't been able to get out here and hunt lionfish for a couple years. That's maybe why we've gotten record numbers of lionfish this year, or this trip. But I would have thought the few that we left out there, that we didn't really leave them, but couldn't get, there would have been less juvenile fish. Okay, back to hunting. And back for looking for a zookeeper. And there's other wildlife out there that we looked at. There's an eel. No, we only speared lionfish. No other fish or wildlife was harmed. There's a different eel. Can't really tell it, but it is. And here we have a nurse shark. Don't know what he was after. Now they don't really have teeth like normal sharks, so they're not going to take a chunk out of your arm or anything. But he was definitely looking for something. Okay. So we were on the other side of this wreck, looking through one of those windows, and saw a lionfish in here. So I decided to go in and try to get him. When you go in things like this, you gotta be very careful, because there's a lot of silt on the floor, and look at those wires. The ceiling came down with some wires. You gotta make sure you don't get tangled up in that. So you gotta pick and choose where you're going. That lionfish was over there. And now he's under that panel. So we've got to figure out how to get over there without getting tangled up or stirring up a lot of stuff. And there's the wife. Actually came in. Very surprised about that one. Get around here. Get the light, get down in here and look without causing any stuff to kick up. There's one. And there's another one down there. By the time I get this one out, it's so mucky in there you couldn't see crap. So it's like, get him and let's get out of here, because you can't see anything underneath there anymore. Let's get out of here before you can't see a way to get out. So very carefully make your way back to the door. And then of course outside is waiting, oh yeah, one of these guys. These guys seemed a bit more aggressive this year than they have been. Okay, didn't quite hang on to him long enough, but he didn't go very far. You're not seeing this. Maybe we'll see the second shot. There. No? He's down in there in that muck. Now, look at this. When I bring him out, look at the difference of how big the spear is compared to the lionfish. That's one of the monster lionfish. Now, zookeeper. So when you try to get this guy and the zookeeper, he doesn't want to go. It's hard to fit him in there. Try to rearrange things. Figure out how to get him in there. Finally get him in the right orientation, I guess. He barely fits in this thing. Okay, here we have a green moray eel. And he's a free swimmer. Don't see this a lot. And maybe he's smelling lionfish blood. And then there's a turtle. I can never identify all the different turtles. And then we have some nice fish. And a nice little ray. So we see other things than lionfish down here. And here we go up. Now that wasn't all one dive, that's a bunch of dives, and I'm going to show you one going up. You hand up the pole, non-pointy end first, in my book, and then hand up the camera, and they put the pole down, and then they go put the camera in the water bucket. And then we go in. It's the end of the day.
Give them the flag.
We had a great, interesting, unusual couple of days.
Adventure.
But we slayed the lionfish.
Yay!
Okay, that's a lead-in. Go.
15 years. This has been like 15 years. And some of the people are originals. Where are they at? There she is. Yeah. I don't think Todd was married at that time.
Todd is
Second
an
year.
original.
Oh, is he really?
Ben is an original.
Second year.
Stay focused, John. Focus. Focus.
2008, I think.
Whoa, I was 2010. You were before me then. I was
Must be.
2010.
I gotta really narrow down. It was.
Focus. So the weather was a little bit challenging this week, but you guys did great.
Yes.
We only had three people chum in the water.
Chumming the water.
Anyway, we appreciate that you came. Thank you very much.
That's good.
If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing this, obviously.
Amen.
Right? Because my wife is a school teacher and we're multi-millionaires. Anyway, so yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. You guys are awesome. You know, I like to carry on and have a good time. This is awesome. Nothing is personal except when I'm talking to Ben Lou.
But
Anybody else have anything to add?
So John, how many lionfish did we actually catch? Do we
Tony
know?
broke a
Oh,
record.
I
will
have the numbers
in a
couple of days.
I'm sure we came close to breaking a record.
We were 100. We were 104 on.
150? Okay.
What's the
Excellent.
record?
No, well Thursday we were 104.
Like something?
Yeah, Thursday we were 104.
Thursday we were 104, and then we
We're
were
down
like
short this time,
30
though.
and
Yeah.
maybe
2 dive short.
Yes.
So,
yes. Yep. And you're not counting Nick, right?
John
put-
John put the hammer
we did,
down.
all we did was ask the question. That's all.
We want a refund was the question.
They cleared all.
You guys-
They had cleared all the they had cleared all the spears off the boat. They didn't have the
I
big
totally
cooler
understand.
ready.
I totally get it. I own a dive operation. I totally get it. I mean, it's a question that has to be,
Are you running
It's
for
a concern.
political office?
you know, 14 years, 18 average people, 12 dives, how many times, and yeah, I mean, anytime anything happens is awful. That's awful. So
The safety record on
thank
this
God-
trip
thank
is
God Nick's so
astounding
kind.
for the risk that we take.
Yep.
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 Yeah,
Especially
it
back
is.
in the day when we were grabbing them by the face and putting them in the bag.
That was the first one. Our first
Oh,
time, yeah.
spear.
Cowboys.
Oh, that's right. Because then we're putting it in a plastic bag and he's
Yeah.
running around with a plastic bag like, look! Everybody look! Yeah,
And then
in
one
a
got
plastic
loose.
bag with a mesh bottom, right?
Yeah.
With a mesh bottom with
Yep.
all the juices coming out. Look what I got! You guys, you're like my 2 favorite on this entire trip since he's recording this. You guys,
We figured it out.
this entire trip ever, and you guys did awesome. Did everything by
Well,
the book.
as I
You
say,
guys were
thank you for picking us up.
yeah. I mean, Greg needs a haircut, but that's all right. So does Ryan, but that's all right.
Jealous.
Can you turn that off now, Greg?
Okay, party's over.
Charles, we have any forms they need to
Oh, where are they?
He's recording.
Is he recording?
No, he's recording without my authorization.
Did you know he was recording?
No, I didn't.
You didn't know? Oh.
Yeah, he already admitted
He
it.
always records.
I don't know what the law is in the Bahamas about electronic eavesdropping.
Right under the bus.
Got out of it.
We're good. Okay.
But for a small
So
retainer,
party
you
on.
can figure it out. Well, actually,
We're gonna cook some more fish in a couple
detain
minutes.
Greg
Then
for
Wad's gonna
about
cook some
10
more
days
fish.
to investigate.
Oh, don't forget about the curfew.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to keep track of us. And have a good day.